What's up guys, Steven Dexter. Today we're gonna talk about a little bit about April. April, it's pretty much very boring. I haven't placed that many trades. There's no big trades in April. Super boring and very low volume. So today I'm gonna go over some of the tickers that happened in April and a little bit of adjustments, what you need to be careful with in the future. Let's get into it. FTOT, this one was a gap up short. If you don't know the criteria, so you need to watch the DVD. Now, this is some of the key component you need to pay attention to. So you see this one bottom, two bottom, and typically when stock loses on the bounce, right, when they crack, it's very difficult for them to come to the original level where it broke down. So once they crack here, then you bounces back up to 205. This is the signal that the stock will get choppy. As soon as you see that, if you have any entries in the short, I would suggest get out and just watch for the next support to be cracked. And that's where I waited. It did not crack in the 1.80. And they bounced again. So once it does this 1, 2, 3 support thing and try to bounce off the crack level, and with all that signal, that means today is not a short. So especially in the morning, you can wait until afternoon to see what's going on. But typically for me, if it starts to get choppy and it's getting liquidity, getting volume, and I'm just out for the day. So that's for FTFT. Now that's how you really trade on the first screen day. Now second day, you can use the pattern called overstaying gap down. Once the stock gap down, you can see it bounced off. It's trading really low volume. Now the reason why I did not short FTFT, you can see this consolidation range between 1.8 to 3, and they started with 75 cents. So the total gain is around $3. The consolidation range is 1.5. That's around 50% of the entire gain. And once you have that, since the support and the resistance are it's so wide and the price is jumping 50% of the entire range, which is really difficult to find the resistance. You can say, oh, the resistance is 1.19, you can say resistance is at 3. So when you short, you can't really find a very specific resistance, and you have this large range, you don't know really where the stock's gonna top out. So what you can do sometimes, if the range is a little bit smaller, you can say I'm gonna entry 1.19 and add 2.25, add 2.6. But if the range gets too big, you cannot control your average. Once you cannot control your average, you cannot control your risk management. So that's very important. If you can't control it, then you're gonna have a really bad risk reward, and that's how you get squeezed, that's how you take a loss, that's how you make mistakes. So very important on FTFT, and this kind of pattern happens a lot. Just be very careful on shorting. And to go long, let's say to go on long into this breakout. Typically on a massive gainer or in the pre-market, the breakout is typically not as strong since it's not a micro float. So that's why I don't go long into this pre-market breakout. Most of the time it's a fake out. Sometimes it's a breakout, where situations that break out for like 100%, 60%. So by statistics, if the volume trades less than the previous day, highly likely it's gonna fade. That will be the pattern for FTFT. Now let's talk about RBZ. This one happened on Friday, and you can see this consistently holds from $4 to 27. First, it's a micro float. You can see it's about 2 million, and it's a decent low cap. And when you see very low volume, and you can see consistently trending out with a massive amount of range, let's say 4 to 12, it only took about 120k volume. That's really low volume considered to be spiking 100%. Once you see that with low volume, there's gonna be a huge spread. And to be able to execute a really good price is super difficult. So I don't understand people who are chasing. If you're a beginner, if you chased it, this is your mistake, even though you made money. So that will not keep you consistently in the stock market. And that's for RBZ. This one's very similar to Hunt. Hunt, very classic intraday hold with manipulations and with super low volume. This one traded even lower volume than RBZ, traded about 70K, 80K volume. So with low volume, spiking large percentage, always try to not trade it at all on the current day. We have a play incoming Monday, BPTH. This one, I would say it's a bounce short. Not very sure since it's still a micro flow. I just want to be very careful about this ticker. BPTH that squeezed many people back in March. I think there's some resistance around 30, I would say 26, and heavy resistance at 37. So for micro flow, if you're a beginner, tends to stay away, and I try to explain some of the very dangerous components and little bit adjustments on gap up short. So if you like this video, click the button below. If you like my strategy, would like to learn more about it, click the link in the bio. I should take you there. So that'll be the end of this video. Hope you guys liked it. I will see you guys next week.